some of you might know me, but some of you might not. So I'll introduce myself first. My name is Minjoo from South Korea. I live here with my husband and 2 kids, and we came here about 9 years ago already. I've been here a long time, but didn't come to church very often, sorry, so I have to confess. Last week, AJ texted me if I could give a sermon, so I feel like, no, not at all, because I'm not going to give a sermon. I don't know how to. But then for a week, I just wanted to, I said yes, finally, because I thought it's a good chance to, introduce myself and kind of assure myself to come to church and being a Providence more. So I thought it's a good chance for me to, share my stories with you, and then you will, know me more. So I'm really nervous because I feel like I just talked to Mitty that I feel like I come back to work after maternal leave. Because I've been a missionary quite a long time ago. And then I just, it was kind of busy and studying and working and having a kids and then come back to this, podium in a Lancaster church, center of London, and in front of you, I feel kind of, going back to missionary work. So I feel like it's kind of a new start. I wrote down so many things. But I don't want to take a lot of time from you, so just if I read, just understand me, because I'm really nervous speaking English, especially, it's been about like 10 years since last time I speak in English like everybody like this. So yeah, I'm going to give basically my life testimony. It's a really simple message, Helena already talked about the beauty of understanding my theme. For the introduction, she already talked everything, If you understand, you could love someone, and this is the basic lifestyle in Cheongguk, I think. So I just wanted to, give this kind of a simple message through my life experiences. I was born in Korea. But I've been abroad for about now 18 years, 20 years in Korea and 18 years abroad, so it's quite a kind of similar time to live abroad. Actually, the first time I started to live abroad was not my intention, because it was because of my mission. Have you heard about Pure Love Missionaries before? Yeah, some of you. I was the first 8 Pure Love missionaries to assign to 8 countries. So, I went in Pure Love missionaries. For some of you who don't know, Pure Love missionaries are the people who graduated from Someone University in major in Pure Love studies. So, True Father established this Pure Love department in 1999, and I was the first group of Pure Love students at that time. And we were 22 people at that time, but then later on, 4 years later, we had only 8 people left. So only 8 people were assigned as a Pure Love missionaries. At first, we wasn't assigned straight away to the mission country, so we were sent to Canada to study English first, because English is the international language now. And also fundraising and witnessing. So we have to know the basic skills to survive in different other countries. So went to Canada, and then 6 months later, at that time Reverend Hua came and assigned us 8 different countries. It was not normal, because for the Japanese missionaries, Father assigned so many Japanese missionaries to everywhere in the world. But Korean girls, it was kind of first time to assign for him. And it was a bit strange, because we were not assigned as a team, just each one of us assigned to each one of the countries. So we felt kind of scared. At that time I was 22 years old. So year 2003, so it was a long time ago. So I was assigned to Australia, but I was lucky because, you know, they speak English. But some of my friends, they went to Israel and can't even remember that, Slovakia and some other countries, Hungary. Actually, the one who was assigned to Hungary was assigned to UK, but when she came to Heathrow Airport, she was rejected, so she had to go back to Korea. So the continental director assigned her to Hungary instead, so she could stay in Europe. So anyways, so we assigned to each one of the countries, so I feel really scared, but then, you know, the missionaries are missionaries, and we've seen so many missionaries who's been working so hard, and they succeeded actually in the pregnancy. So, and also, you know, when you don't know, then you are very brave. You know, like you feel like you can do it, everything. So I was too young to know everything, so I was really brave to go to Australia. I have only about $200 in Australian dollars with me, and get on the plane and went to Australia. But luckily, we have so much foundation everywhere. So I wasn't the one who was doing really hard job there. So I had so much foundation already, you know, first gen made in Australia. So I could, you know, get along with all the second gens, and we could do all the different projects everywhere. So I was first I was doing fundraising basically for 2.5 years. I was doing fundraising every day. And on top of that, we were doing sales as well. You know, like, do you know the differences between sales and fundraising? The purpose is different. But for me, the purpose was different, but the way of talking is different. So fundraising is like, I'm from Family Foundation for World Peace, and we're helping these people. So would you buy chocolates? And that's the, you know, fundraising. And sales is, this product is really nice. You need this, you know, like you have to explain all this kind of product details, and you have to make them buy it. Sales makes more money. So I made a lot of money to travel to all these different island countries for the father's speech at that time, and also I could have chance to you know, travel to Middle East at that time. You know, like, do you remember MEPI? Yeah, so I could have chance to go to that country as well. I was really lucky to have all these kind of experiences, and, you know, a lot of, you know, see all this, meet all these people. But as you might know, if someone who's done the mission work, it was not always joyful. It's not, you know, it's always constantly, it's fighting with yourself. So one day, when I was doing fundraising, yeah, it was really hot summer day. Australia is different season, right? So it was like January, really hot day. I was holding carrying these 3 boxes of chocolates, and it was all melted. And I was walking, and everybody rejected because no one wants to buy melted chocolate. So, and also, you know, like, imagine, you know, this little Korean-looking, I mean, Asian-looking girl. They didn't even know I'm Korean. So this Asian-looking girl, you know, holding this big bag of melted chocolate in a hot summer day, looked very stupid, isn't it? So yeah, so I just felt kind of really down, and just sitting on the street. And I started to feel really down, and I started to think that, like, who am I? What am I doing here? And why do I have to do this? And I'm 23 years old already. You know, like, my friends graduated from university. They studied their careers, and you know, looking very good. And I felt like because you know, no one knows I'm 22, 3 years old. Some even like members, they didn't even know that I graduated from university. They thought like I'm like a 15 or 16 years old, young kids. Anyways, so I feel like I'm not who I am. I feel like I feel so disappointed in myself. So, but then at that exact moment, my phone was ringing. We didn't have a smartphone at that time, so just little Nokia phone was ringing, and it was my mom. And my mom said, "Happy birthday!" And my birthday is January, so always my birthday has a snow or like warm gloves for my birthday present and things like that. But I didn't even recognize it in this hot summer day. I have my birthday, so my mom called and said happy birthday, and I feel like it's and also we count our birthdays in lunar calendar in Korea, and especially my family. So if you don't count the birthday on lunar calendar, then you don't know which day is your birthday even. So I didn't know on that day when my birthday was. So when my mom said happy birthday, I felt kind of, she didn't say much, but I feel like I hit my head with the hammer. And later she said, if I translate it directly, it sounds really weird, but it's Korean. So, my precious daughter, I can't even imagine how hard to live as a missionary. You're so brave. You've done what I don't, what I couldn't do. I really admire you, and I'm so proud of you. That's what my mom said on that moment. It's like a God's voice, isn't it? So it was like, I just realized that, before realizing anything, actually, I was crying on the street, but without sound, because I don't want to let my mom down. So I was just sitting down there, and I said, I'm okay, that's fine, okay, thank you very much. And then we just, I hung the phone. And from that moment, I just, it's like a revelation, I feel like, if there's someone who really loves you and cares about you, then everything doesn't care, right? So I thought then, I look back all the times how my parents raised me. By the way, my parents are 1800 couples, and they've done a lot, even though they are not living as a missionary, but like a 3 years courses, 7 years courses, 40 days, and witnessing, and so many things. As I remember, my mom was always off witnessing. So, and even one day, Jehovah's Witnesses people came to my house. She invited them every time they come, and they talked to them. My mom was talking to them and served them fruits and snacks and everything, and they always stayed in my place for about a couple of hours and things like that. She enjoyed it. So, I know how much she did for the Providence, but she admires me. That's amazing thing, even though she's done a lot. So I was looking back at times how she raised me and how my father raised me, and it all connected to God. So I feel like if there's someone who really truly understands me, then that's who I am. I don't need anybody to blame, or it doesn't actually matter. If I was understood by someone like God or my parents or my family, then I want to be the person who can understand others like that as well. That's the only point. Anything else, melted chocolate, hot weather, doesn't care. So that's how I found and understand myself in the mission time. Also, once True Father in the Second Sense workshop a long time ago when I was in high school, he said, if there's at least one person who's listening to me and truly understand me, then he will speak, and he will, the providence will go on centering that person. So I have at least one person, and one being God. So we all have. So it's really important understanding for us. And also, the life as a missionary is not just understanding myself or myself, but also understanding others and differences. Already Helen and I talk about the Green Book. Even though you don't know other people, but if you understand the person truly, then there's love, and you are willing to know more of that person and the culture and the world. Then I think that's how we live in Toneguk. When I went to, I traveled to so many countries, but some of you traveled more. But through this traveling, I learned a lot actually, because like all the races and all the cultures, I had kind of barriers, because if you see, if you've been to Korea, they're all Koreans in Korea. It's not like London. So if you see someone really different, they look like this, it's always a bit different nowadays, getting more kind of, I heard, because I've been to Korea like time to time, so I don't know about Korea much now. But yeah, in Seoul, there are so many like Westerners and foreigners from all around the world now, but still, it's not like London, so everyone's like Korean. So yeah, when I traveled to islands in Pacific Islands and also Australia, Canada, and Middle East and everywhere, I felt, I have to understand, otherwise I can't survive. So I have to understand that I have to put myself in their culture, otherwise I don't know how to live. So it was kind of real understanding other cultures. But at first, it's not easy, at first, if you're in different countries. Like, imagine you're in Korea for a long time and living together with the Koreans. It's going to be crazy. So, especially, even though I traveled to many countries, I felt so much difference between Westerners and Easterners. Even language is opposite. Because many of you were introduced to Korean, I guess. It's really difficult. For Koreans to learn English, it takes, like someone said, it's about 12 years to complete the language. This is actually the same as Westerners. To learn Korean, it takes so much time. For Japanese, Korean is easier, and for Koreans, Japanese is easier. But Western language, it's not easy at all. So if you have chance, younger ones, better to start now. But anyways, yeah. So when I went to Canada for the first time, the language was the biggest barrier for me. Once I cried when I went to a post office because I couldn't speak. I studied 6-7 years English, but I couldn't speak up. I was so scared of looking at this white person in front of me. It was not kind of normal. You travel around the world easily, but when I was younger, it's not actually usual. Because I went to Canada in 2001 at first, but even 1980s you have to get permission from the government to travel the other country from Korea. So only 10 years time we had. Nowadays it's like international countries, like other countries, but still at that time it was not easy. So it was not easy to see Westerners in Korea. So I felt kind of scared looking at foreigners in Canada. Anyways, so it was kind of the biggest barrier. And also learning English itself is a learning culture. So if you don't, at that time I was just listening to radio and watching TV and talking to other people, I learned. But later on I realized that just speaking is not understanding their culture. And also if you don't understand the culture, then you can't speak properly. For example, in Korea, you probably have experiences that Korean people ask you your age. That's quite strange, isn't it? Like, how old are you? It's like a very simple question for Koreans. It's because someone already knows why they ask this question. It's because it's because of their culture, that they have to call their name. It's like what's your name? It's the same as what's your name? How old are you? Because I don't need their names. I need their age. Then I can call them. Because if someone is older than me and female, then I call her 언니. And someone is older than me and male, then I call him 오빠. So it's as simple as that. Even though I know their names, I don't call their names. So it's like, what's your name? How old are you? But nowadays in the culture, younger people's culture is a bit different, so they don't normally ask their ages to older ones, really older ones. Like you can see, obviously, these are my parents' age, then I don't ask their ages, but like the similar age, we still ask their ages. It's like, what's your name? So it sounds like really rude, but it sounds, if you understand the culture, then it's not, right? So when someone asks me like, what's your name? Like even like younger ones, especially Koreans, they have like all this kind of age classes. So if younger ones ask me, what's your name? I feel kind of, how rude this kid is. This is a kind of a different culture between Korea and the Westerners. So the language stuff, it's one of the examples though. But so if you understand it, then you don't feel it's rude, or you don't have any kind of barriers. So that's what I felt speaking in English. And also speaking about understanding culture, my husband and myself, we started our tour operating business 5 years ago. It's like we're providing Korean guided tour. So we're speaking in Korean, explaining about England and London. So we have to study a lot of things. So we have my husband's guide as well, and myself, I'm doing British Museum, sometimes guiding, and not always. And also we have some other guys who are working together with us. We have to study a lot. My husband knows all the king's name, but he doesn't know all the Korean king's name. So that much we have to study all the London and England facts. And our tourists, from Korea, the tourists ask so many questions. It sounds sometimes serious, but it's rather silly sometimes. So they ask about the questions like, why is the signal is vertical, not horizontal? Because all the Korean signals are horizontal, but here it's vertical. Did you notice that? But some of you don't. So if you don't have different things, then it kind of comes up to your eyes. So, and also why they don't have any mountains here? Because in Korea, if you look around, there's all mountains around. But yeah, here is different. Yeah, they have to go to Scotland. So yeah, and also why they're wearing all the blacks, and I heard in this country it's always grey, but it's really bright sunshine, and all these kind of stupid questions. Then, some of the questions we can answer, but some of them are not. I asked them the same question, but not in London, but in Korea. Why do you have so many mountains in Korea? Why do you have a horizontal signal in the street? Why do you have all different color clothes? Because black and white is quite simple and nice. So if you have different perspectives, and then it all comes back to understanding. Then even though I don't answer, I just question them back, then they understand. Oh, okay, because they already know how they live. So it's kind of an interesting point. So it's quite easy if you put yourself in other person's shoes, then it's easy to understand, but it's easily forgotten. So in our daily lives. When we start our business, we made these 3 mottos. One is challenge, and the other one is a creative innovation. I don't know how this is the right translation or not, but I guess you understand. and the other one is change of perspectives. It's really connected to our business. It's tour guiding, which is tour guiding. All these values are based on understanding. If you don't understand it, there's no challenge. If you don't understand your limits or your abilities, there's no, challenge is really difficult. And also if you don't understand the market and products and all this kind of environment and world, then there's no creative innovations. And also, the last one, change of perspectives, is quite, we thought it's the key. We wanted people to have more opportunities to have different perspectives. And finally, probably, it changed their perspectives as well. When we came here for the first time, we came to study actually. So I went to a degree course here, and it's really different. The education system is totally different from Korea. I've been grown up in Korea for 20 years until university, so I'm kind of the traditional Korean person who studied in Korea. So it was really challenging, we listen to our professors, but they speak here. So it would, it's really different. They have so many questions. We don't ask questions. We listen and write down and memorize and then write down on the test. That's all. But here we have to listen and we have to talk what you think. So it was so much challenge. I don't have anything to talk. But when I, through these courses, I learned a lot, not only from the professors, but also from other students. I didn't expect this kind of advantages. So I could have so much different perspectives from everywhere. Because in my class, we have 15 people for the tutoring from all different countries. So Americans talking about Obamas all the time, and this Italian girl is talking so many things. And, like a Japanese boy who was always writing down and speak. He would, I never seen him speaking, but he was reading perfectly. He was, a clever boy anyways. So all different people gather here and then they talk same things, but from different perspectives. So then we can understand that matter, that subject, very, how to call it, in wider, context. So it was a lot of advantages, not only from the professor's perspective, so we can, understand more deeper and wider. So it was really nice. So we wanted to put this kind of ideas into our business as well. So we want people to come here. When people come to UK, we want them to understand more this country and this they are traveling, and also want them to, know more about them. Just not traveling and seeing and listening, but want them to experience and understand these people who are living here and have their own cultures. I wanted to share Father's quote. I couldn't actually find the English 천성경, so I have only Korean 천성경. So I wrote it down in Korean and translated to English by myself, so it's not official translation. Just to bear in mind. I will just read in Korean first, and then, because it's quoting, so Korean first, and then we'll read in English. 앞으로의 세계는 새로운 국제경제기구 및 질서의 탄생으로 비약적인 경제발전이 가능해지며 인류는 풍족한 경제생활에 따른 시간적 여유를 레저에 이용할 수 있을 것입니다. 이를 통하여 인류는 대자연을 이해하고 배우며 그 속에서 하나님께 감사하며 인종과 국적을 초월하여 서로 사랑하고 위하며 참된 삶을 즐기는 이상세계가 반드시 오고야 만다는 것을 본인은 확신하고 있습니다. In the future, the world will achieve rapid progress in economic development through the initiatives of international economic institutions and new economic systems. Then, humans will spend more time on leisure as they move and as they have more time from their life in plenty. This will lead us to understand and learn more about the great nature. Through that, we could appreciate God, and I'm confident that we will live in the ideal world and that we could enjoy our true life, which we love and live for others, regardless of their nationalities and races. I know this quote, Father emphasizes the leisure industry actually, but I'm focusing on how we spend the time when we have. Father said we could spend time to learn and understand the great nature. That will lead us to appreciate God. I think understanding is the key element, thank God, and this is the way we live in the ideal world, Chanyeok. Father actually said this in 1981, so probably he is talking about now, as we have more time than before at that time. So, now we have more time to travel than before and to meet more people than before. Especially in London, you can have so many different people from all around the world, have more opportunities to talk to them. And also, I think our life living abroad, many of you probably, it's not your own country, and living with a person who's from different culture, even though we are Korean couples, but I feel like it's different culture. So living with a person from different culture, and meeting all different kinds of people through fundraising, witnessing, or just in the schools and working places, and traveling around the world. That's how God made us prepare to live in the ideal world. So through all this missionary work and still living in this providence and living in our movement, because I never seen any other people who have this kind of how do you call it, like a wider heart and mind than our church members. Because after the missionary work, since I came to London, I was living in kind of church environment for a long time, and then London was kind of the starting point. I could go further to the world. But then, I don't know, it's too, how to say, like a self-compliment. But, these people are the most, are the people who have most wide hearts. I don't know how to say, like multicultural, multi-races, and multi-religious, and these people, the people I can talk to easily. Anyways, I just before the message, I was talking to Mitty about I feel like I'm going back to work. Because my stage of understanding is understanding my kids now. I have 2 kids. It's the most challenging thing I ever had. But God has 7-point-something billion people. I don't know how God handled this. So this is, it's a really challenging thing, but I know the result of this understanding kids going to be amazing and very joyful, I guess. Every time I see them, they do all different behaviors and all different things I can't understand. I try, but no, it's not. Sometimes it's unbelievable. Sometimes you can see, on Facebook, kids are doing so many different things, and parents put up on the Facebook, and other parents are laugh, but your own parents go crazy. Anyways, so my toilet tissue is always gone all of a sudden. So that kind of things. But sometimes I feel that I could understand little part of God through my kids. When my first child was about 2 months old, he's now almost 6 years old. But at that time he was I was looking at him, and he was smiling at me back. So he was so cute. And I was thinking, every single person in the world, they have this stage. They would have 2-month-old stage, right? Very innocent and very cute. We couldn't stop loving the person, I think this is the same as God, the same to God. God would, even with this person, how you don't care how this person is growing up and doing whatever they do, but couldn't stop love this person, This is a small one. So I thought, there's no one who we couldn't forgive. So even though, human commit sin, still God couldn't stop loving us. Because I still remember that time, this little, baby is smiling at me. If you remember that, then even though, my son is doing all different things, still I couldn't stop loving him. So that's the kind of little understanding of God through my kids. So if you, already many of you already through that stage, but some of you haven't yet. But if you go to that stage, then I think our kind of how to call it, the depth of life of faith will be deeper, I think. Yeah. So I think that's all I wanted to say. Before, do you have some time? Before I finish, can I offer a song? Because nowadays, preparing all this kind of message, I was looking back all those times I was really sincere. Doesn't mean that I'm not sincere yet, though. But I was thinking of mother, true mother, and also I was looking at the message AJ sent. The message was very moving, I was imagining if my husband is not here, then how would I feel, And I remember that, it was my favorite song before, but, my husband even didn't listen to this. This is the first time he listened to my song. But yeah, this song was the song I learned from a second tense workshop when I was in junior high school. I still remember this song. The song was mother's favorite song, they said at that time. I'm not very sure now mother likes this or not, because it's really kind of a sad song. I have to see the lyrics. It's about a woman who's longing for her love, who's living far away. And mother said she used to sing this song when father was in America. So he's abroad, when he's abroad, and then mother used to sing this song and longing for father. So, and the lyrics are really beautiful, but I don't know how to say in English, so I will say it in Korean. Very nice. 창가에 나 홀로 기대어 찻잔에